guys, and this is a review of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. And so basically it is a remaster of the 3 PlayStation Crash Bandicoot games. The 4th being Crash It's About Time, which is the the 4th and the new game. Obviously there's been others in the series like the Crash Team Racing and Crash Bash and so on. This is a cool remaster of those games, and it will bring back a lot of nostalgia of when you were a young invalid. The graphics on this game were always really strong on the original. Although they were very simple, this also allowed for very smooth graphics, and when you had limited processing power on the PlayStation 1, this meant one of the best looking games on the console. So the remaster basically just brings it up to speed with modern graphics. The remaster's definitely be done very well. All the controls work, it's all smooth as there's no problem playing the game just like the original games. There's no problem there. The visuals, as I said, yeah, like they've added like little bits of animation and stuff. It's definitely has that remaster touch, but all the levels themselves are more or less exactly the same, which is not really a problem. If you want to play a newer Crash game, then you could always buy the recent PlayStation 4/5 release. But with the original level format on all 3 games, so comes the original challenge, and obviously the good thing about a platformer on one hand is that yes, it's like one of those games you could play if you're like come back slaughtered from a long work shift and you just want to relax for a while and calm your thoughts a little. It's one of those games where you don't have to have like a lot of energy, like a strategy game where you have to think deeply. It's just a simple game. It's a platform game. Collecting the crystals gives you a bit of motivation, but let me say that completing this 100% is very, very difficult. Honestly, I think there's been more swords from stones pulled than the completing all 3 of these games with all the crystals. But if you can do it, then good for you. I don't have the patience to do all of it, but I have done at least completed the games. And on that, what I should say, I'll comment on some of the differences between the 3 individual titles. So I think Crash 1 definitely had the best level design. I thought they weren't trying too hard with it, and a lot of the original style levels were definitely the ones that worked well. If I remember, the most notable perhaps would be the Road to Nowhere level. Is a really like cool concept, although it's not easy. It's a frustrating level. It's definitely a fun and well thought out challenge, and also like a lot of like the bosses such as the Pinstripe and Papa Papu, the Angry Koala. It reminds me a bit of an old maths teacher at school, but yeah, it was just a brilliant game. It was the first, but it was definitely not the worst. And the difference with, I would say Crash 2, I definitely remember the polar bear riding levels, which were kind of cool. But Crash 2 is definitely probably the hardest of the 3, especially to complete entirely. It has a lot of levels and a lot of tricky levels, but also a lot of levels that I don't particularly like playing. Not necessarily that I'm bad at them, they're just not enjoyable. I think such as the jetpacking levels towards the end just felt awkward, and I don't know, I know they're trying to be original and stuff, but that's the thing, see. I think if you ain't broke, don't fix it, and that was with the first game. A lot of the simpler level ideas actually were the best. So Crash 3, I think, is kind of a return to form in a way. It has more of a feel of the first game. I wouldn't say the second game is bad, I would just say it's not my favourite, but Crash 3 definitely has more of a simpler feel to it again. However, where that is strong is that it has a lot of unique controls, such as the double jump and the super spin. So yeah, overall, just a really fun remaster of the original 3 games. If you're worried about quality or anything, you are going to get basically the original 3 PlayStation games, but with better graphics and fun, like little animations added in. I mean, the team have worked hard and done well with the graphics. You can see, if you know what to look for, you can see lots of details that have been added. But yeah, it's a fun platforming game. This Crash Bandicoot was like the Sonic or the Mario. Well, PlayStation had Crash. I think he kind of earned that kind of distinction, and really should have become, like, if anything, a bigger franchise than it has. I'm very fond of it, so I'll give, especially with the history in mind, I definitely give this a 9 out of 10. But just remember, it is a platform game. There's no grand strategy involved here, but a good platform game, easy to play, hard to master. And so overall, yeah, definitely a 9, and see you later. Yikes!